Hello and welcome to Opod. I'm here with my wonderful wife Iman and our guest today, Sarah.
So much energy, you love it.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Like every other interview or podcast, we want to start off with 3 favorite things about yourself.
Oh, 3 favorite things. Okay,
You got
first things first.
I'm the realist.
Food is my best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day, all day, every day, I'm eating. Non-stop. That's the first thing. Second thing, squirrels are my favorite animal. Don't ask me why. It's random.
No, I like it.
It's a favorite thing because when I see squirrels, I'm like, yes. Thirdly, my favorite thing about myself, I would say my hair. My hair's locked up now. I'm on a journey. It's been 2 years. It's been amazing. So yeah, that's one of my favorite assets about myself.
And it's just going to be a surprise for us because we just...
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It was not contributing today, so I had to wrap it up. Thank you.
So food, squirrels and hair.
Yeah, I
Nice.
guess.
Yeah. Looking into what you do, something called Poetic Conscience.
That's me.
We know that it's a program where you create like a social place for people to better their mental health through poetry, right?
Right.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Of course I can. So Poetic Conscience is my baby. We started in 2019. So it just started out me having passion for spoken word. I wanted to just open them doors for other people because I've been to so many other open mic nights and I was like, you can never have too many. And me being born in North London, it was like, okay, I can't really find that many events that's happening in North London. So let's create a community. Funny saying that our community is now based more in East London, but sometimes it changes. So Poetic Conscience is a community-based company. We create social environments to tackle the mental well-being through poetry. So just meaning that I put on events for people to come, socialize, exchange artistries with one another, and also explore their artistry from people who've never done poetry before or people who've never done spoken word poetry to come in on the night and being like, yeah, I'm signing up. I'm like, yeah, you are? Cool. So with Poetic Conscience, the aim is really enough, like you said, to really just provide a safe platform for people to come and express themselves. I feel like in this day and age right now, it's not common enough for people to really just say what they have to say and not be judged by it, especially with the pressures of social media, maybe family, other factors. It's like when you come to Poetivity, which is our open mic nights, literally no one's judging you there. You're talking to a room full of people. It's like therapy. For me, when I write my poetry, it's literally the best thing in the world because I put my thoughts and feelings on the paper. When I go and perform it, I don't even need to know anyone in the room, but I know that someone there is listening to me, if not everyone. So yeah, Poetic Conscience, we've been rolling for 3 years now. Next year will be 4 in February. So yeah, that's mainly it. We do workshops as well, so creative writing workshops. It's mainly aimed at young adults, so between 18 and 30. However, we don't discriminate. We've had older people come through, which is really nice as well because you get different generational thoughts and feelings. And also, yeah, next year is all about targeting the youth. So we're starting from like 11 to 16s, trying to just delve into that realm. But yeah, Poetic Conscience, we're a community. We're an extension of the London spoken word poetry scene. And yeah, we keep pushing.
You say you've been doing it for 4 years now, coming on. So
almost.
is it just, how did you, obviously you must have started running it yourself and then you built a team or that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I came up with the initial idea and shout out my girl Charlie, because she's the one that I actually sat down with my first ever thoughts. She inspired me with her company and I was like, yeah, okay, I want to start this, but I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, okay, talk me through it. Talk to her through it. She was like, right, so this is what you need to do. This is what we need to do. So I was like, okay, cool. Started planning the open mic night now. I was like, okay, I need a team. So obviously we need a host, someone who's just going to bring the energy, bring the vibes on the night. We need front of house just in case for tickets, photography, videography, and then if there's anything extra, then extra. But yeah, I got an amazing team of people, close family, close friends. I don't even call them close friends. They're my family. And yeah, pushing through almost 4 years now. Everyone's still here.
Sick.
By God's grace. And yeah, it's really nice to just build with people who are really close with you. So our host, Dennis, I went to uni with him. I graduated in 2017. That was quite a while ago. But yeah, so it's been so many years of friendship. And then the rest of them are like family. So yeah, just building a platform for everyone to elevate together. Like, we grow together. You can't build it by yourself.
Yeah. Sick.
I wanted to ask, so it's been like 4 years obviously, and within that 4 years COVID happened. Spoken word, when you can't gather, how was that for you guys? Like, how did you manage to pull through to the other side?
Chai, it was not easy. It was not easy because now all of a sudden we had to adapt. Venues are shutting down. People are closing in, staying in their homes. So I really had to think on my feet and think, how can I help and benefit people whilst they're at home during this time? And especially during that time, as many people know, mentally, it was a lot. Like a lot. So I was like, okay, cool. Everyone's going onto this online platform thing. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see how we can divert our attention to like our socials and, you know, just pushing through that. So we done open mic nights on our lives. We got people from all over, had people from Hawaii, people from Ghana, some people from America. Like, it was just great. It was amazing. We even celebrated our second year birthday celebration online with everyone, which is nice because it means that everyone is able to join. Instead of like, obviously in person people got lives, everyone's got things to do, just get busy. But online, literally, I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah. I was like, yes. And then also what I've done for people, so I started to do this thing where I've done daily tasks. So I would put daily tasks on our story from Monday to Sunday, literally trying to just give people prompts to just write. So for example, on a Monday, it'll be like Mindful Monday, like think about positive affirmations, push through, try and do what you need to do. I had like Wellbeing Wednesdays where I was just like encouraging people to just really delve into themselves, even though we're at home and, you know, we couldn't come out. There was one point where you couldn't even step out foot outside of your area. Like, you couldn't go for walks. So just really using what's around you and just really using that to your advantage, to push. Because, yeah, as I said, mentally, even for myself, I think doing that helped me mentally. It kept my mind going. Because I remember one day I was sitting there and I was like, okay, my mind is ticking. The room is silent. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And literally, like, my brain was just going overtime to the point where it was affecting my company before we started doing the online presence, because I felt like it's just a lot. So I felt like giving up. I literally was just like, nah, this is long. It's emotionally draining. Like, my head is not in the right space. But one thing about me is I love to give to people. I care about people. I put people before myself. And creating that family already, I knew that a lot of people would be going through a lot of things. So I was like, I'm not going to give up on them. People utilize my platforms and some people rely on my platforms. Like, that's their only go-to space to express themselves. So yeah, I couldn't give up knowing that a lot of people are behind me and utilizing my platforms. So yeah, we created that online presence. We made some good connections. Shout out my bro inside of Ghana, because every day he's messaging me like, okay, so when are you guys coming to Ghana? I'm like, soon. So yeah, we just really had to adapt over that. And then when we started coming out of the pandemic, that's when it was getting a bit more challenging, because now we're face to face, but we had to have restrictions in place. So we had to have the social distancing, masks. Obviously, it comes with controversy because people are like, I don't want to wear a mask. I want to wear a mask. We had to get like mic covers for each performer, just to make sure to help stop the spread. So yeah, it was a lot, but we got through it. We're here. Yeah. 2020 and 2021 is, yeah, we're here now. 2023 is among us.
That's really cool.
For real. When did this become your passion, spoken word?
Hey, when did it become my passion? So, very funny. Growing up in secondary school, I hated English. Like, I was someone, you tell me to write a poem, I'll be like, for what? What am I writing? Are you reading? No, I don't want to read. I don't care. So it was actually in uni when I was doing my final project with one of my good friends, Michael. We just wanted to use spoken word in our piece. I was like, yeah, I'll write us something. So I wrote something about like darkness in the mind that was to do with the theme of the piece. And then when I started writing it, I was like, okay, we recorded it, heard it in the speaker. I was like, this is actually quite good. And I felt like it was my first time out of a long time where I could actually express myself and feel good. Like, as much as I have dance as another artistry to express myself, sometimes dance can't carry me through certain things. So finding spoken word was my leeway to expressing the other things that I can't say
Through
in my
dance.
dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally just from there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start trying this poetry thing. Started writing a bit more. Went to a few open mic nights. Performed my first piece, which is Black Rose, and yeah, that piece has carried me through as well. Because all now, I'm still performing it to this day. It's a very important piece to me. So yeah, and then I started training with a company called Boy Blue Entertainment, which is like a dance hip hop.
group.
Yeah. So I started training with them, and then they have a spoken word collective within their dance group. So when I started writing with them and like engaging with the spoken word group, that's when I was really like, nah, this is a passion for me.
Serious,
Like,
innit?
this is something serious. Like, I got a lot to say and people need to hear it. I don't give a heck if you don't know what I'm talking about. I could be rhyming. I can't be rhyming. I might be talking in tongues and you'll be like, I don't get it. But at the same time, listen, you're going to hear the message regardless. So yeah, that's where I found my passion for spoken word. And ever since, and that's what ignited me to start Poetic Conscience. Because of my passion for spoken word and how I know it helps me, I know it helps a lot of other people. So just having this platform
Like
platforms,
the vessel that runs.
that's it, literally. So yeah, passion for spoken word. Get you some spoken word, guys. Get that pen, get that paper.
In terms of like the inspiration to write, you said at first when you found it in school, you spoke about like the darkness of your mind. So that's more to do with your like the self. Where does this like? Is it always about you? The spoken word is about other people's experiences, life situations.
So I think for me, it's mainly about experiences that I've been through. The first piece that I ever done it's called Black Rose. So it's about the stereotypes of being a black person, how those negative connotations outweigh the positive, and how people view us before actually getting to know us.
100.
So with me, the connotation of the Black Rose is all the layers are like the stereotypical layers. When you're walking down the street, the first thing people see is your color, and then all of a sudden they have an instant judgment. Same way that, you know, sometimes in life, all of us, we'll just be walking down the street and be like, okay, what's up? So yeah, I utilize that, and then the bud inside of a rose is us as individuals that people don't like to see, or they don't want to get to know because they've already got this judgment about you. So yeah, with that. It's my life experiences. I used to work. I feel like I'm retired. I used to work in a specific place, and that place was, it took me out of my comfort zone. Meaning that I got judged for being there. People would ask me like, how did you get a job here? Just because I'm from North London or because I'm from Edmonton specifically. Like, so I had like a lot of cliques and, you know, just all of these things. So one day I was sitting on shift and I was like, nah, forget this. writing. When I looked at it, I was like, rah, like, this is mad. And then the next one that I done, so it's called Deflated Balloon. It's about us as black people not having the space to just breathe. It was around the time that the George Floyd situation was going on. So the whole Black Lives Matter movement and how I was feeling inside, pen to paper. So yeah, it's really just about my experiences and then also me as well. Because if I don't write about me, who's going to write about me? All the stuff that's going on inside, how are people going to know what's going on inside if I don't say? So yeah, I mean, sometimes I could write about other people. I like to challenge myself with things that I just, you know, write about a banana. I don't know. So yeah, that's where I get my inspiration from.
What, in all this journey, since you've obviously done a lot, is your proudest moment today? You might have more than one, but what is your favorite or your proudest one that you think, looking like?
I think, so I'm going to say one for myself as an artist, and then I'll say one for my company. So my proudest moment for myself as an artist is recently I won an international award.
That's sick.
All the way from Canada. I done a spoken word. I wrote and performed a spoken word as a piece as part of a short film, and the film got entered into a film festival, and we won the film festival in Canada. So yeah, that for me is one of my proudest moments because I've been building up to a moment where I can really just be like, yeah, Yeah.
That was that moment.
And literally, we went to the screening for the short film, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, this is cool! Like, this is the first time I'm seeing it." And I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've got this special award," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And then they're like, "Sarah, come and collect your award." I was like, "Eh, me? Award for what?" So yeah, it won best poetry film. So that's why it was really important to me as well, because, long story short, without going too long, the film is about 5 people's traumas. So 5 different traumas. So I had to take an hour and a half interviews. So the people were interviewed for an hour and a half. Each person had to take the interviews, listen to it, think about it, and then write it in a short poem. So you can imagine there's a lot in all that hour and a half, and especially when people are expressing themselves, as we've been talking, especially when it comes to their trauma, it's a lot. So I just wanted to fulfill that for them and make sure I tell their story through the poetry. So it's a spoken word and dance film by Nadia Charles, shout out. But yeah, it was a really special moment for me. And then with my company, I think the proudest moment for me is just really engaging with a lot of people. This year we've engaged with so many people. I kid you not. Like, I see people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Miss Poetic," and I'm like, "You came to my event?" I'm sorry, I come across people all the time. But yeah, we get a lot of opportunities to really just showcase what we're about. And yeah, I don't think I have a specific moment for my company. I think it's just running my company in general that I'm proud of. And I don't say that often.
The fact that you've even built it up to that
literally
level,
I really don't say that often. People will be like, "Oh my gosh, this is really good. Like, your open mic nights are da-da-da." And I'm someone who's already like 10 steps ahead, thinking about the next move. So really sitting here and being like, "Yeah, I'm proud. Yeah, go Sarah. I'm proud." Yeah.
So what would your advice be to others who are either looking to get into spoken word or into starting something of their own?
I say go for it. Do you? Because there's no rules. There's guidance, there's structure, but what you want to do is what you want to do. Poetic Conscience is something that I wanted to do. So I just said, yeah, heck, I'm just going to go for it. 4 years almost down the line. We're engaging with so many people and it's amazing to see. So literally, grab that pen, grab that paper, do what you need to do. And don't be scared of socializing. Socializing is great. Networking is great, because at the same time, you could come across someone who could really just change your artistry or change the ways that you think. And in terms of entrepreneurial sides, listen, if you got that small business that you want to start and you're hesitant, it's easier said than done, but go for it. Just go. Just do it. Because if you don't jump in the deep end, how are you going to know if you can swim? If you sink, you will float. Yeah. Even if you don't know how to swim, don't worry. It's fine. You will learn along the way. But yeah, really just do you. That's one of the things that I've learned over the years. Like, just do you. Because at the end of the day, we only get one life to live, Sha. So live it accordingly. There's going to be times where you feel like you give up, you want to give up. Just push. If you want to start that thing, start that thing. Yeah, just go for it, because you don't know where it will lead you in years to come. So really just continue. And it's okay for things to not go as to plan. Be ready for change, because sometimes change is good. So yeah, come on. Start that thing. Start that spoken word. If you need an open mic night to just do your poetry, poetivity. Ooh.
We were gonna ask if you would like to tell a piece, but I feel like, would you mind telling us
sharing some of your work with us?
Black Rose, since
I shall.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, my name as an artist is Black Rose as well. So I'm actually Black Rose.
You're the
embodiment of the Black Rose. So yeah, okay, Black Rose. Let's go for it. Off the top.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go over time, just tell me where to stop, because this piece is about 2 minutes long, so it's not that bad, but that's cool. All right. Loud, aggressive, stubborn, ghetto. Loud, aggressive, stubborn, ghetto, words bit on the layers of my rose. Black, ethnic, minority, with the majority embedded to lay peacefully amongst the seeded dirt. Watered by the raindrops, nourished by the sun. Negative comparison 1. A planted seed rising to become. A buried seed remains numb. Black Rose, Its signification compared to the nation, white, orange, pink, blue, differentiation, color, black. I rise above, try to not let my color define my closed blood and individual. Surrounded by stereotypical layers, the beauty of my positivity hidden, unspoken of, broken off. Is it because of my skin I'm not treated fairly within? Amongst the majority, minority, blamed by the authority for not forgetting the color of my skin, constantly reminded to look within. So I stand here, B-R-E-A-T-H-I-N, B-R-E-A-T-H-I-N-G, breathing. Stop breathing. Stop breathing. Stop relieving. Innocent straight through my palms, keep calm, unapologetically armed, shielded by racial profile to fit any description. Is it because of my skin? I'm seen to be what society deems an angry woman. Correction. Angry black woman, why so mad? Love the skin you're in, right? So why don't I have the right to be at peace with my inner peace without my outer layer defining who I am? Are we stereotyping ourselves, or is there a stereotypical template stereotyping us? Loud, aggressive, stubborn, ghetto words bit on the layers of my rose. Black, ethnic, minority, with the majority embedded to lay peacefully amongst the seeded dirt. Watered by the raindrops, nourished by the sun. Negative comparison 1. A planted seed rising to become. A buried seed remains numb. Black rose.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. That is out on YouTube. So if you want to see visuals too, Sarah.Lisney on YouTube. Go for it.
Yes,
follow me too on Instagram.
Thank you for listening to
Pod.
We've been your hosts, Jordan and Iman, and our guest, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
Make
sure you're following us online, Poetic Conscience. We got things bigger and better 2023. We're here for you. And follow me on Instagram, Sarah.Lisney, like Disney, but you replace the D with an L. Wow. Black Rose.
I love that.